What's good to YouTube? It's of course Leviathan Prophecy, and I have a huge announcement to make. A shocker. I believe the New York Jets will be better, will have a better season this coming year than the New York Giants. Now, we all seen what take place. Both teams didn't make the playoffs. Both teams had sucky records. Okay, you might say, well, what do the New York Giants have to play for? They don't have nobody to actually build around outside of Sam Darnold. You know who they trying to move, you know? But they have stability. They have a structure. They have a new GM and a new head coach. Okay? Now, their defense wasn't really that bad last year. It was just offensively they couldn't put the points up on the board. The Giants The Giants do not have any defense at all. Even though they were very good at stopping the run, their Achilles heel was the passing game. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't stop a nosebleed. Kind of like how Dallas was last year, you know? Um, I just think that the structure that the Jets are trying to build is going to mold into something great. Now, I'm not saying that the Giants can't do that. But I'm not sold on Dave Gettleman. I'm not. You know, I mean, as a Giants fan, it kills me to say that I do not trust Dave Gettleman at all. I never liked him. You know, yeah, I mean, even though yes, he was a former, you know, defensive, offensive coordinator for us back in the heyday. But, that's the New York Giants' problem. They never want to go outside the box. They always want to stay within family, you know? And I think sometimes that's what kills them, you know? I mean, like the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, I really liked him. Like he looked like he's a fired guy. He's a enthusiastic guy. He's all about defense. And you look at Rex Ryan years, those 2 years with Mark Sanchez, they were pretty good. I think they were like number three on defense. They were ranked number third defensively, you know. And that's when they beat the Patriots back to back in the AFC playoff. And no, it was for the AFC Championship. So I'm not saying that Don Shula, I think that's his name. Don Shula is Rex Ryan, but Rex Ryan was known for his defensive plurality. Same thing with Don. Don is known for his defense. He's not really a head coach type of guy unless he finds his offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if he's gonna call the defense as well, or he's just gonna be strictly, focusing on coaching. You know, Joe Judge, he's more of a special teams type of dude. You know, um, I mean, again, special teams is not all that fancy, but it's a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? You have defense, offense, and special teams. People, gloss over the special teams aspect, because special teams is not really, it doesn't pop out at your screen, unless it's a muff fumble or, somebody, coughs it up, whatever have you. But they just worried about defense and offense. That's what matters. But special teams matters too, you know. Um, but I just think that if the Jets surround if the Jets surround Sam Darnold with talent on the offensive side of the ball, get him some good running backs, some good receivers, a good tight end. The Jets could easily be second in that division, 10-6. You know, I think they were 6-10. You flip it around, they 10-6. You know what I'm saying? The Giants. I mean, obviously, the only thing they can hang their hat on right now is Saquon Barkley, and the Giants fans don't know how well he'll come back from this injury. He might probably be worse than he already was coming back. You know what I'm saying? So we just hoping, or they just hoping that they cross their fingers that, Saquon Barkley can come back to the Giants full strength. You know what I'm saying? Now that more teams are noticing how he runs, they're gonna stack the box and dare him to go straight down the middle. Cause Saquon Barkley is the type. Sometimes he'll go in the middle if it's like a open wide lane, but if it's crunched, then he'll bounce it out to the outside a lot. Which is a funny style of running because Barry Sanders never run like that. Like he could go through you, he could go around you. Like he just made you miss because he was that dominant, But Barry Sanders retired way too soon, which again was a smart move because he knew the like he knew his time was up. He knew his body couldn't do it no more, you know. So he got out while he still could, and now he can, live to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Most people they confined to a wheelchair for life because they're too hard headed to not leave the game while they still could. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, obviously he never won a championship, but we all remember him for his runs, for his very good orthodox runs. His very like Barry Sanders was one of the greatest running backs of his generation. You know, but I mean, receivers. Daniel Jones have somebody to work with. I'm hearing a lot of rumors that the Giants should bring back Odell Beckham Jr. Look, I said this before. No, no, that chapter is dead and buried. Why would you even bring him back? Y'all forgot. Odell Beckham Jr. put Eli Manning under the bus. It wasn't Eli. Because Eli won those two championships way before he got here. So how can it be Eli? Now, obviously, I know Eli Manning was diminishing. His skills wasn't there. It wasn't 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 010, 011 Eli no more. It was 18 and 19 Eli. So I understand that, obviously when you age, your skills are not there no more. You know what I'm saying? But Odell Beckham Jr. still got his numbers. Odell Beckham Jr. wasn't complaining his rookie year. Odell Beckham Jr. was getting mad targets, was cocky getting them, but he was taunting players. He was doing this. The league said, "Okay, we're gonna key on Odell. We're gonna see what makes him tick. What makes him tick is to get underneath his skin, cause he's more of a sensitive dude. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of like LeBron James. When you get underneath his skin, that's when he self destructs. We've seen that from the cornerback for the Vikings. When he got underneath his skin, you saw Beckham like drop passes and doing all types of crazy shit. So we don't need that. Those are just the Giants fans that want him back are the fans that is delusional. Okay. So what happens if Daniel Jones don't give him the ball in 4th and 1? He's gonna lash out on him too. Cause I remember people are who they are. Don't matter where they go. Like it don't matter where you go in life. You are who you are. Your reputation is who you are. From birth to death. Odell Beckham Jr. is who he is. If he doesn't get his way, he's gonna lash out. So I think, as an intellectual standpoint, don't bring him back. Don't bring him back. You know, he had his 15 minutes of fame in New York. He couldn't handle the heat. I think the pressure got to him. And, he self-destructed because it's not easy playing in New York. You know? Like, if you do one bad thing, the whole media is going to be up in your ass. Asking you questions, harassing you, this and that. This ain't LA, this ain't Cleveland, this ain't other places. This is the Big Apple. The media is 10 times more brutal than the other medias, you know. So, and after that episode, not episode, but that segment with Jostina and Little Wayne is saying that if Odell Beckham Jr. said that, well, if I had a young quarterback, this and that, I would have had more targets and this and that. Dude, you had Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is twice the age of Eli, and you still couldn't get anything done with him. And I don't even say it was chemistry. Don't even say that, because I hate when people go that route. Okay, you can make anybody better. Okay, look at Randy Moss. Randy Moss went from the Raiders. No, he went from the Vikings to the Raiders. No. He went from the Vikings to the Patriots, and then he bounced around the league. Okay, he bounced around the league. Couldn't necessarily find a home. He found a home with Tom Brady, and it instantly click. Instantly click. Okay. Another prime example. Plaxico Burress was with the Steelers. Didn't do squat diddly over there. Went to the Giants. Eli Manning and him instantly click. So don't give me that, it was that whole chemistry issue thing. That I don't believe in all that, If you have it, or if you have the it factor, and your quarterback knows that you can give him the ball, you're going to be trusted, you know? Kind of like, Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer and Chad Johnson clicked, you know? Ben Roethlisberger and Santonio Holmes clicked. So what was the difference? So what's the difference between Baker and Odell not clicking? It's not chemistry issues. Odell Beckham Jr. just didn't fit what the Cleveland Browns was doing, Cleveland Browns they run the ball, they pound the ball with the running back, and they do a lot of play action passes with their tight ends. That's what they do. They don't keep force feeding the receiver like Eli Manning did, and obviously that's what got him hurt the first time. The second time, obviously he was out for the year. You know what I'm saying? So when you keep a force feeding person a ball, he obviously gonna get hurt. So I don't want to make this whole rant about Odell. I just think that the Jets are gonna have a better year. If what I said comes true, then Sam Darnold can be the best quarterback in that division. You know, I'm not saying that he's gonna be better than Patrick Mahomes, but he could be on that Josh Allen. He could be on that Lamar Jackson pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of flack for Joe Flacco taking over the games, some of the games. You know, I mean, it is what it is, but um, I think it's his team still. I don't think the Jets are gonna let him go just to find another quarterback and to make that quarterback even worse. You know, So stick with your guns, draft, build through the draft, sign the free agent that you have to sign, and the Jets will be back like it's nothing. Now, as far as the Giants goes, again, picking that number 11 is not going to be easy, because obviously all the top talents are probably going to be off the board, unless the Giants do some trade like they did for Landon Collins. You know what I'm saying? They traded down all the way down to just to pick Landon Collins. So maybe the Giants could do something like that. Trade Evan Ingram, probably throw in a few draft picks just to move down a few slots. If teams accept, okay, but who wants to pick at 11? Like, what dumb team wants to pick at 11? Not even dumb team, but what team wants to pick at 11? Nobody, you know? So, but again, the Giants did it to themselves because all the Giants had to do was, like, if they lost to the Dallas Cowboys, the Giants draft stock would have dropped. So from 10th, they would have probably picked 9th, and then Cowboys at 8th, and then Eagles at 7th. So you would have had the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys all picking in the same lane. You know what I'm saying? Prime example, the Giants could have drafted Chase Young. But what happened? They won against the Redskins. So the Redskins the Redskins draft stock dropped while the Giants rose. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the stock system, you know? That's all the Giants had to do is just lose. If the Giants lost, the Giants would have been picking number 2. While the Cowboys, while the Washington team would pick number 4, obviously, but that didn't happen. So, so the Giants screwed themselves out of a great talent in Chase Young. Could have drafted Simmons, but obviously, I guess they saw a lot of baggage in him. He didn't necessarily fit their system. I'm not saying that he would have been a great playmaker, but yeah, you see their defense now, right? Like, it would have been a huge upgrade. Swiss Army knife can play anywhere. Line him up, he could play anywhere. I'm not saying that he would create havoc every time, but something is always better than nothing. I just think that it was solely on Dave not to draft him, because I'm pretty sure Joe Judge loved him. Loved his story coming out, clean kid. You know, knows the ball. Knows football. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes that old grumpy dude just says, "Nah, we're gonna pick offensive linemen." Like, and it's hard to develop an offensive lineman. It really is. It really is. People think offensive lineman, you just plug him in there and no, no. That's where you have your left tackle, your right tackle, your left guard, your right guard, your center. You know, everybody has their own job to do. If you place if you place a if you place an offensive lineman in the wrong position, he will struggle. Kind of like how they move Eric Flowers around. Eric Flowers was a left tackle to put him at right tackle. He didn't do good. He did not do good in any of them. Eric Flowers did not do good in either of those areas. He was a bust coming out of Miami Hurricanes. And Miami does not produce the good offensive linemen. That's the thing. Miami Hurricanes do not produce good offensive linemen. I'm not saying that all the time, but obviously, again, Justin Pugh. Justin Pugh had a pretty good rookie year. and but he faltered. He disappeared. He wasn't himself. He was always getting hurt, this and that. So I mean, I don't know what team he's in right now, but somebody picked him up. But I think he was with the Lions. I'm not sure. But I mean, obviously the Redskins picked Flowers. Um, so yeah, I just think that the Giants. I think that the Jets is probably gonna have a better year next year. You know. Um, I just think so. Y'all let me know if y'all are Giants fans, Jets fans. I know we rivalry somewhat. I don't know why. I mean, I don't even know why we have to share a damn stadium. I mean, the Bills are lucky as hell. The Bills have their own damn stadium. Like, I just don't want to share. I mean, but anyways, man, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.